Hello, I'm Dr. Y.S. Vidya, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Lal Bahadur Shastri Government First Grade College, RT Nagar, Bangalore. Today we are discussing a small part of the stellar evaluation. The learning objectives are supernova explosion, types of the supernova explosion, Chandrasekhar limit, uh, Scald shield radius, event horizon, and the singularity. The session outcomes are, on completion of this chapter, the students will be able to understand how the star ends its life through supernova explosion and types of the supernova explosions. The student can able to explain what is the mass limit for white dwarf according to Chandrasekhar limit, and the student can able to know what is the radius of the black hole, Schwarzschild radius, and he can able to understand the characteristic of the black hole such as event horizon and singularity, and why the black hole cannot be seen. The supernova explosion means a star that explodes with 100 and billion fold increase in its luminosity is called as the supernova. It may shine with the brightness of 10 billion suns. We can say it's nothing but an end of the star of the life. On average, a supernova will occur about once in 50 years in a galaxy and the size of the Milky Way. Supernova leads to the formation of the black hole. During supernova explosion, around 10 to the power of 42 joules of total energy is going to liberate. This is the types of in supernova. There are two types. One is type 1 supernova and the type 2 supernova. Here we have plotted a graph between an luminosity versus an time. The time is in with respect to an days. So if the light curves exhibit a sharp maximum and then smoothly dies away gradually, they are called as a type 1 supernova. It is shown in green in color. And type 2 supernova have less sharp peaks compared to that of an type 1 at about 1 billion solar luminosities, and it is shown in some Neville blue color. The characteristic of type 1 and type 2 supernova are mentioned in this table. The first one is the absolute magnitude. For the type 1 it is around -19, for type 2 it is around -17.5. Energy produced is around 1042 joules in case of type 1 supernova and 3 into 10 to the power of 42 joules in case of type 2. The mass ejected is around 0.1 to 1 mass of the sun and 3 to 5 mass of the sun in case of type 2 supernova. Expansion velocity in kilometer per second. In type 1 it is around 2000, but in 2 type it is a maximum around 6000 to 10,000. The probable mass of type 1 is 1.5 to 5 times that of mass of the sun, whereas type 2 is 15 to 30 times that of mass of the sun. Light curve, that is fall of the luminosity with respect to time, is regular in case of type 1 and it is little bit irregular in case of the type 2 supernova. The location is type 1 supernova usually observed in with old and young stars, and here type 2 supernova is usually occurs in massive young stars. The population, and here it is an almost maximum, and in type 2 it is a minimum. Hydrogen content we are observing very poor in case of type 1 supernova and it is normal in case of the type 2 supernova. The distribution is, in case the type 1 supernova is spherical galaxies, and whereas type 2 supernova is observed in spiral arms of the galaxies. Number of supernova per year in a galaxy, it is on very less around 0.01 and type 2 is also around 0.01. And the peak luminosity, here it is maximum in case of type 1 supernova, which is around 109 times that of the luminosity of the sun, and whereas in type 2 is 108 times that of the luminosity of the sun. According to Chandrasekhar limit, the density of the white dwarf decreases from maximum value at the center of the star to almost to zero at the surface. According to Chandrasekhar mass limit, the mass can be given by 1.44 times that of the mass of the sun. That is, the Chandrasekhar limit is now accepted to be approximately 1.4 times that of the sun. Any white dwarf with less than this mass will stay as a white dwarf forever. while a star that will exceed this mass is going to destine its end of life in that most violent explosion called as the supernova. Schwarzschild radius. Let us then consider a particle of mass m at a distance r from the center of the mass capital M. This particle can escape to infinity if its kinetic energy equal to its potential energy. Since kinetic energy is equal to potential energy, half into mv square is equal to g into m small m divided by an r. R called shield radius is given by rs is equal to 2gm divided by v square. If velocity of the particle is equal to velocity of the light, then it can be written as an rs, which is nothing but an Schwarzschild radius is given by 2gm divided by c square. If you calculate all these values, it is around 3 kilometers. That is, when this radius has been attained, around 3 kilometers is attained, the object will have strong gravitational field that will prevent even light from escaping out of its influence. This radius, this 3-kilometer radius is called as the Schwarzschild radius. Event horizon and the singularity. When the escape velocity exceeds the speed of the light, a star known as the black hole cannot be seen due to absorption of even photons. Since photons cannot escape, no event will occur within Schwarzschild radius that can be communicated outside this radius. Therefore, it is called as the event horizon. In a spherically collapsing star, all the material will simultaneously reach the center within a period of 1 microseconds after crossing the event horizon. The entire mass thus shrinks to a point of infinite density, which forms a singularity. Thank you.